Ay 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 Ashamnu bagadnu gazalnu dibarnu dofi Evinu veirshanu zadnu chamasnu tafalnu shaker yatsnu ra kizavnu. The prayer Ashamnu is a list of transgressions following the Aleph Bet, the the Hebrew alphabet, and then we have Al Chet, which is another confession following a double Hebrew alphabet. Basically, if we have 22 letters, we have 22 for Ashamnu, and 22 for Al Chet, and 22 for another Al Chet. In our Mahzorim, we have only one set of Al Chet, only 22 letters in the Al Chet, but yet it's a very long series of sins. We have sinned against you by speaking perversely. We have sinned against you by insincere confession. We have sinned against you by foolish talk, and we have sinned against you, God, by sin A, B, C, D, E, F, and then A, B, C, D, F, and at the end you end with a very, I would say, beaten chest. But the question is, how can we move from beating our chest to change? And what I like to suggest, and of course, first of all, I suggest it to me, is that if we focus on the whole list, on the entire 22 plus 22 plus 22 sins that we have committed, and many more that may not be here, and the ones that other people tell us that we committed, and the ones that we tell ourselves, the things that we know that we need to change, and we beat ourselves for the things that we have to change and we must change, and the things that other people tell us we have to change. It may be so overwhelming that we won't be able to get anywhere. So what I like to suggest, without changing necessarily the liturgy itself, because this liturgy with this list serves another purpose, and that is to bring the congregation together, to include everybody in this confession. But while you do your own Ashamnu on this coming Yom Kippur, and while you go through the entire list, think of maybe one or two things that you would like to change in this coming year. I know there are more. There are 3, 4, 5, 10, an entire list. But instead of saying this is the entire list of things I need to change, I am going to focus on 2. What are the 2 things I would like to see different in my life in this coming year? What are the 2 aspects of my life, of my behavior, of the way I do things I would like to do them differently in this coming year? If I need to prioritize, what are the 2 things, 1 and 2, that I am going to work on them? Because if you work, or if we work on 1 and 2 things that we have to change, there is a chance that we will be successful at the end of the year. If we start with a huge list without differentiating what are our priorities for change, then we won't be able to succeed even in the first 1 or 2. So one thing that I would like to ask God to bless me for this coming year, and to bless you as well, is with a realistic view of the things that we can change and do differently in this coming year. So I will pray and I will say, Dear God, the Master of the universe, please give me the humility and the capacity to understand that if I change 2 aspects of my life that need change, it is okay. If I am able to focus on 2 Ashamnus, on 2 Al Chet, my life will be better next year. And with God's help, we will be able to work on 2 different ones in the year after. And that will be okay. That will be a wonderful, wonderful achievement if you and I can work on 2 of them. So this is my challenge to all of us in this coming year. Let's beat ourselves maybe a little less and work on these 2 things that we need to change, and with God's help we'll have a healthy, a wonderful year, a year of sustenance, of peace, of blessings. Amen.